Greetings, everyone. This is Payman Loza, your host, your friend, your coach. Today, we're kicking off day 2 of the 5-day challenge for the class of September 2024 for the UK. And we have an amazing crowd again. We have people from all over the places. We have 4 continents, if I can remember. We have Europe, Africa, North America, and Asia. So, and we also have some other guests from a different world. So they're going to join us today. Anyways, they're watching us. Welcome, guys. How are you guys doing? Everybody excited about today?
Yes.
Cool. All right, let me start sharing my screen. Make sure I'm sharing the right screen. Okay. Perfect. Let's go. Okay. Okay. Do you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Let me make it full screen. Do you guys still see it? Okay, let's get going. So welcome back. Today we're going to kicking off day 2. Day 2 is all about the benefits of podcasting and why podcasting is so transformational, so powerful, and so profitable for businesses, entrepreneurs, and professionals, anyone for that matter. And I'm going to be going in detail about the benefits of podcasting for you personally as well as for your business. So that's the menu for today. The agenda, same as usual, introduction, short Q&A from yesterday, and then we're going to dive straight in. At the end, we'll have a Q&A as well. So before I even start, any questions from day 1, from yesterday? Any questions, comments, compliments? Don't be shy. I'll graciously, gracefully, and gratefully claim them. So come on, guys. Questions about anything we did yesterday? Go ahead, Susie.
Just a comment. I know I had to leave early, but even what you covered in the time I was there, Payman, I just want to say you give so generously. You are so authentic in what you do. And I could not be happier to be here and having met you and Deborah now, other people, and connecting with great people. This is real quality stuff, and I'm so grateful for it. Thank you.
Very welcome. Thank you for this beautiful, wonderful, heartfelt words. They really mean the world to me coming from you. I've got to know you have a couple of powerful conversations. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your trust. Thank you for your time. And I'm very excited. Awesome. Any other questions from yesterday? Let me check the chat. Okay, Gifty has some issues with the speakers. Okay. Thank you, David. Deeply appreciated, my friend. Final call. Any other questions about yesterday? As my good friend Jay would say, speak now or hold your peace forever. Oh, here she comes. Wow, can't believe it. She just flew into the UK today and she just made it. Wow, I'm honored. She's a very amazing lady, all the way from, I think, from New York. And she's flying to the UK for her birthday. So let's give her a warm round of applause, guys. Where is she? Wait. Let me see her. Lubna, are you here, my friend?
Yes, hi.
Hello.
Thank you.
How are you doing, my friend? Where are you? I can't see you. I want to see you. Where are you?
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
I don't see you on the screen. Wait, let me go back. Ah, good to see you, my friend. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Amazing. Seriously, really honored to have you here. You just landed in London less than 3 hours ago after a long flight. We're chatting just earlier today while you're on the plane. Wow,
Yep.
I'm really happy. Thank you for making the time to be here.
Sorry, I'm a little late.
No worries. Enjoy the sun. Where are you? Is that in the UK you're in?
It's shocking. I think it was just being nice to me that it's still raining and the sun came out.
You're the one that's bringing the sun to the UK, so stay in the UK for as long as you can. I'm sure all of our friends would agree, right?
Very, very fine. Thank you all.
Awesome.
We
Well,
not
thank
hold
you
you
for
up
being here.
from.
All right. So since we have a couple of new friends here today, give us a 30-second intro about yourself. Let's start first with Kwesi, brother. Give us a quick intro. 30-second. What's your name? What's your name, Quissy? Where are you from? What do you
What's
do?
my name, Chris?
And what do you expect from this challenge?
I'm Kwesi Jamal. I'm from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, but I'm currently vacationing and exploring Orlando, Florida. I am a life coach in the self-development, personal development space. My expectations from these 4 days with Lorenzo is knowledge, great connections, and inspiration to get started on my podcast.
Thank you, brother. And I recommend all of you guys to reach out to him and all of you guys to reach out to each other. I had a beautiful chat with him this morning. He's got an incredible story and a big, big, big heart. That's why he's here. He's a true leader with a heart. So get in touch with him.
Thank you so much for that.
Very welcome. Lubna, can you give us a quick intro, please? We want to know you more. If you can, if not, no worries.
Oh, I never like talking about myself.
Just 30
I am
seconds.
my background's in systems, so I'm a systemic change person, and I focus a lot on ethical AIs, standards, sustainability, security. All these are my areas. To
Okay.
be here, I also coach, but on growth. Look forward to meeting everyone here.
Thank you, my friend. It's a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So last call. Any questions about day one before we move on? No? All right. Let's fly through then. So let's dive right in. Before I even show you this, why do you think that podcasting is so powerful for business? I want to hear a couple of people. Raise your hand, please. Why do you think that podcasting is so powerful for businesses and for business in general? I'd love to hear at least one or two people, the feedback on that. There's no wrong answer. Go ahead, Quizzy.
Brand exposure.
Mm-hmm.
That's my one answer.
All right, perfect. Love that. Susie.
Yeah, using it to leverage promoting how you serve yourself through the conversations with your guests and your audience. So creating a platform, a really powerful and effective one that can go global to help you with what you're offering. I think that's
Love
it.
that. Thank you. Thank you. Love that. Srimi.
Free global platform to educate people primarily, I think. And it also helps you to enhance other people's activities. So particularly to interview processes, you can actually introduce other people to the world, which I think is really powerful, and it's free.
Absolutely. Great answer. Let me check the chat to make sure I'm not forgetting anyone. Absolutely, Fiona. Shows you're an expert in your field. Absolutely. That's one of my favorite. Thank you, Noreen, for the powerful. All right, awesome. All right, let's dive into it. So, and I'm gonna spend not only today, but the rest of the week going over why podcasting is so powerful, changing, and even transformational for a business, both for the business and you as a person. So first of all, podcasting allows you to, first and foremost, share your story, display your expertise, and give an opportunity for your audience, for your exact ideal audience, your avatar, to get to know you and for you to get to know them. And in the process, you'll be building an unmatched, intimate connection with your audience, while also the most important thing, building trust, rapport, and a lasting connection with exactly the audience. And I'm going to expand on all of these today and the rest of the week. So one of the lessons that really opened my eyes and changed my life is understanding that business is not a numbers game. Sure, numbers matter, but ultimately it's a relationship nurturing process. We do business with people we like, relate, and trust. And as we all know, business, especially if anytime you're selling anything high ticket over $1,000, pounds or euros, it's about one thing and one thing only: trust. That is why it's incredibly important. And podcasting is the best way to build that trust, that rapport, and that connection, not just with random people, but to your exact ideal audience, and for them to get to know you in the process, liking you, relating with you, connecting with you, identifying with you, and ultimately trusting you. And once all of that happens, then doing business with them becomes a natural, automatic, organic progression, where there is no need to pitch, to convince, to sell, as I like to say in a funny, cheesy way. There's no need to seduce or kidnap someone to do business with them. It's a natural, automatic, organic progression. So now, why is podcasting the best way to connect with your exact ideal audience, prospect, and clients? First reason is, when someone listens to your podcast, it's for three main reasons. Sure, they're interested in your topic that you're talking about, but most importantly, it's because they can relate with you, resonate with your message. They can identify with you, your message, your story, your path, and who you represent. And the process, because, hey, they like you. They like your personality, your sense of humor, your vision, your values, anything. You guys, raise your hand if you've been listening to podcasts and your favorite podcast. You feel that you know, and it's almost as if you view the host of your favorite podcast as a friend. Raise your hand if you can relate to that. And why is that? Why is that? Let's hear from at least one person. Deborah, go ahead.
Okay, well, it's like being in the living room with them. It's like sharing a nice cup of tea and having a chat. And it's because I relate to what they say. I like the way they say it. And they say it in a way that I can relate to, that isn't so, sorry, I've just got this, that isn't too far ahead. And I give the example very quickly. Tony Robbins, great guy is what he does, brilliant guy. But somebody like Mel Robbins, who is much more down to earth and feeling like one of the girls, I relate to her much more because she's not this billionaire guru that is so far ahead of me. I can't relate. So yeah, relatability.
That's it. That's it. And I'm going to dive into, that's a very good point. I'm going to dive deeper into that, because when someone is looking to hire a coach, sure, it would be nice to work with a billionaire, but billionaires live in a different reality than us. They're disconnected. What people want is a person that is 1, 2, 3, at most 4 steps ahead of them, someone they can relate with, identify with, connect with, and most importantly, someone that is accessible and reachable. That's what people want. And something I'm going to be emphasizing and going deeper into that today, tomorrow, and the rest of the week. So, do you guys know what is the #1 currency in the world of business already? Well, it's on the screen, but it's attention. Why is that? Why is attention the most valuable currency in the world of business? Let's hear at least from one person.
You're talking about retention.
Attention.
I thought you said retention. Well, attention draws. Every business needs attention, because that's how you sell products and develop things.
Yeah, absolutely. And also because in today's world, where you're constantly bombarded with reels from Facebook, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and all that, that has drastically reduced the attention span of the normal adult. Back in the 90s, I saw a stat that said back in the 90s, the attention span of an adult was about 7 minutes. Can you guess how long it is now today? Can anyone guess?
90 seconds.
Oh, you're too generous, my friend.
I would actually think less than a second.
Thank God
5
it hasn't.
seconds.
No, it hasn't gone less than a second yet. That's between 3 to 4 seconds. That's even less than a goldfish, because a goldfish is 7 seconds. Especially the younger generation. And even us, because we're always bombarded, always scrolling on our phone with the feed on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. I don't have TikTok, but for those of you that have TikTok, it's all about bombarding with something catchy. So anyways, why do I bring this up? Is because, again, well, I just mentioned that. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Because when someone listens, usually when someone listens to the radio or the TV, usually it's loud, it's playing in the background. There's a ton of distraction. But when someone listens to a podcast, your podcast, usually it's you and their earbud. Sure, they might be doing something else like cooking, doing the dishes, driving, going for a walk, or even working. where there's no other distractions. So the result of that, you get an unparalleled, unmatched, undivided, intimate attention. And that's why podcasting is so powerful, because there's no competition. No one else is there to compete for your attention with your prospect, the person listening to you. So that's why podcast is incredibly, incredibly powerful. Let me see if there's anything else I'm missing here. So who is podcasting for? We all know the saying that says, facts tell, stories sell. And this is how we as a human race, we've been doing business and sharing information, knowledge, wisdom, culture since the dawn of time. You know, just by sharing stories, by talking. That's how we communicate. Any business, whether online, offline, can and will benefit from a podcast, because each client, each customer, each person, each deal, each trade, each product, each launch, book, course, whatever you're doing, that's a story worth, and that's a story, and a story is worth sharing and telling. And it doesn't matter whether you're just starting out your business, you're already an established multi-million-dollar company or pound company, still a lot of things that you can share to communicate, to really relate, to connect with your audience, with your client base, and so on and so forth. For those of you in here, especially if you're an author, coach, professional, entrepreneur, thought leader, then podcasting is the way for you to really get your message, connect with your audience, build the trust, rapport, share your story, and the process, displaying your expertise, and ultimately to really differentiate yourself, elevate yourself from being seen just as another coach, author, whatever you are, even if you're selling hot dogs down the streets, to being seen as the expert, the authority, the leader. Because again, podcasting is something that really sets you apart. And today's hyper-competitive global market, the name of the game is, I call it the rule of the 3Ds: differentiation, differentiation, differentiation. How can you set yourself apart? How can you distinguish yourself and not be seen just like as another whatever you are, but being seen as the expert, the authority, the leader? Having a podcast is one of the best ways to do so. Now, let me share with you some of the benefit of podcasting for you personally. These are some of the things that I have personally experienced. These are what I have experienced since I started my podcast. I went through all of these. First of all, it's been an amazing platform for me that allowed me to share my story and document my journey in the process of making incredible, lifelong, lasting friendships from around the world. Here's another one, a massive one, a very big one. It gets you access to people you normally wouldn't be able to access to. Let's test that. After this call, reach out to someone on LinkedIn or anywhere that you would love to, and I'm talking someone at a high level, not someone. Reach out to them, try two approaches. One, first one, which is a generic, normal, what everybody is doing. Hey, can I please get on a call to pick up your brain? If you do that, you will be completely ignored. You will not get any reply. But instead, what if you were to message them? Hey, Susie, David, Michael, John, Mary, Deborah, I love what you're doing. I've been following you for a while. I've been reading you. I just read your book, saw you on TV, whatever. And I absolutely love what you're doing and admire it. And I would love for you to come share your story on my podcast. You do this, you will get a reply. And those people will say, well, absolutely. Just say yes, say when. And for that, I'm going to call you, Deborah, because you use that approach with a major legal firm in London, and you get a reply within a few minutes. Can you just briefly share that with us?
Yeah, so what I did is I did the Dream 100 list, like you showed us to on the training. And I came up with a partner in this law firm that, I mean, I had tried to do this for years, but they never even responded. I then got the details, LinkedIn, sent them this very thing that you've just said, and I pressed send. And literally, before I could even look back again, I got this notification. They come back and said, yeah, let's talk. They didn't know what my podcast was. They didn't know how many listeners or viewers I'd got. They just said, yeah, which was absolutely unbelievable. Brilliant.
Thank you for sharing that. When I saw that, when you shared that inside the academy, it was what, a couple of months ago. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, but yet I knew it, because this has been also my experience with reaching out to people. And this is what I mean. Once you have your podcast, no matter how big it is, no matter how many subscribers, followers, downloads you get, you have an incredible asset. You have a platform. Everybody wants a piece of that. Everybody wants to talk on it. And 4 years and almost 400 episodes of podcasts, I only had 2 or 3 people that I reached out that I didn't know, that asked me, hey, how big is your podcast? How many downloads you get? How many subscribers do you have? Only 3 people, 2 or 3 people. And when I explained to them, for me, I don't use my podcast for that purpose. I use it to build trust and rapport. Then they understood, say, wow, that's genius. So again, put this to test. Don't take my word for it. Reach out to people that you admire, people that you would love to get to talk to, and use this approach and just see what kind of answer you will get. It's going to get your foot in the door with people you normally would not be able to. This is a given. It's proven. That is one of the biggest benefits of having on podcast. Next, it's going to allow you to learn about yourself and get to know yourself so much. I can't tell you how many things, guys, after re-listening to my own podcast before I release them, I catch myself saying, wait, did I really say that? Where's that coming from? Sometimes it's almost as if the information I speak is being channeled through me. It's incredible. And you get to know so much about yourself, so much about other people. It's unreal. This, for me, the next item has been an absolute life changer. As you guys know, I used to be the most shyest person in the world. And having my podcast allowed me to overcome my shyness and fear of public speaking. So much that now I'm not afraid of being in a big stage. I just did a TEDx talk 2 weeks ago in front of, 200-300 people. And I was okay. If you had asked me 5 years ago, I would have preferred to jump off the cliff than speaking on a stage in front of people. So again, incredible benefits for you. The next big one on the list is going to drastically improve your communication and listening skills. One of the best things you can do, not just for your podcast, one of the best tips I can give you when you're doing your own podcast, and even when you're just speaking to other people in your normal life, something that really makes the best podcasters stand out is when they have a guest, when they talk, they don't interrupt. Let them finish. The worst thing is listening to an amazing conversation, but the host always chips in, always interrupts. That's the worst thing. But podcasting allowed me, again, I was guilty of that before because I wanna put in my 2 cents. But the podcast, I realize, it's not about me. I'm just the host. The podcast is about the guest. Whenever I talk to someone, I say, hey, I'm just the host. You're the star. What can I do to make you shine brighter than you're currently shining? What can I do to make you win? And when you apply these in the process, you will become a much more effective communicator, and you will enhance your communication, your listening skills. This is why God gave us 2 ears and one mouth, because we need to listen twice as much as to speak. Even though you guys will see I talk a bit too much, but it's okay. It's a different story. So the next item in line is, once you get your own podcast and you get to speak with these amazing, inspiring, empowering guests with phenomenal stories, goosebump-inducing stories, you will become a much more interesting person to talk to because of all these experiences. Over the last 4 years, I've been blessed to talk with business people, actors, models, CEOs, former Olympians. One gentleman from the UK that I'm going to have on my podcast pretty soon has been multiple times, not only national champion in England, as well as European and world champion multiple times in martial arts. Amazing. The kind of people that you can speak, not only that, but also people that have literally went to hell and came back, people that have beat terminal cancers, people have lost it all and went to jail, literally, and had to reinvent themselves, rebuild themselves. These are incredible stories. And when you speak to these people, you learn so much about life, it's going to really, in some ways, not only enrich you, but also humble you. When I was depressed, broke, and even suicidal, then when I started speaking to these people that came back from the brink of death, literally beating terminal cancer, people that lost it all, jail, and had to reinvent themselves, I said, stop being a little bee. You have nothing compared to these people. You can make it. If these people made it, you can do. This is one of the things that allowed me to not check out, because, hey, when you learn from people who have been through even more painful experiences than you say, wow, it puts everything into perspective. So podcasting in that sense is gonna, and in the process, you will become a much more wiser, much more interesting person to talk to. Another big one is if you put all of this together, especially the last 2-3 items, it's going to allow you to connect at a much deeper level with anyone you talk to, not just on a podcast, not just business, but also with your family, your spouse, your kids, your siblings, your parents, your neighbors, anyone you come in contact to. Because again, at the end of the day, it's about human to human interaction. You will learn to speak from the heart. When you speak from the heart, people can really open up to you, can really relate with you. You can build rapport and trust. Again, when you connect deeper with people, that's when the magic happens. And when you put all of this together, you become a much more powerful and charismatic speaker, leader, and man or woman, as a human being, because these are the benefits for you as a person. And last but definitely not least, because, hey, podcasting is very fun. If it wasn't fun, I wouldn't be doing it. Nobody would be doing it. Who wants to do something that is boring? Nobody. Can you guys relate with these? Does that make sense for you guys? So of all of these, which one for you is the most, what is the right word I'm looking for, the most powerful of all these benefits as a person? Let's hear from at least 2 people. From where you are right now, as a human being, as a man and woman, which of these personal benefit would you say is the most powerful for you? Not only where you are now, but where you want to go. Kwesi, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I put in the chat, this is motivating for me because it's exciting to hear all the 9 points really stand out to me. For me, I think the most attractive points out of these 9 are makes you more learn about yourself and get to know yourself. Self-discovery is of high value to me. And then the second one would be connect deeper with anyone that I speak to. I love connecting with people. I love hearing people's stories, the way they think, why they think the way that they think, why they do the things that they do. Human connectivity is important for me. And the third one would be become a more powerful and charismatic speaker and leader. I believe that's very important for myself and for my vision and what I want to do for the rest of my life, speaking on stages worldwide and just connecting.
Absolutely.
So those are the 3 points for myself.
I love that, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it. Love that. Next, Srimi, and then Noreen.
I think for me, that's what's the greatest benefit is to get access to people I normally wouldn't. There's a credibility angle.
I agree.
Just being able to connect with great minds.
Awesome. Awesome. Love that. Absolutely. That's one of the biggest benefits of podcasting. Noreen.
I think for me is overcoming my shyness and fear of public speaking is one of the things, even though I have this strength that I can speak, but I need to do that. But also I love the one where it's making great friendships around the world because I love traveling.
Speaking of that, that's a big one. Last year, and at the start of 2023, I was in Thailand. I just made a post on my Facebook personal page that, hey, I'm going to Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur tomorrow. And one of the ladies that was on my first book, she commented, hey, I have a friend of mine in Kuala Lumpur. Would you like me to connect you to him? I said, absolutely. Long story short, the first day that I arrived in Kuala Lumpur, he came and picked me up. Former American military diplomat, and all that, now retired in Kuala Lumpur. He took me under his wing as a younger brother. He opened the city to me, is very connected. And that completely changed my experience. I was expected to be in Kuala Lumpur for only a week or 2. I ended up staying 6 months. And now I'm going to go back to Kuala Lumpur next week because, again, that's what these connections do. You get access to not just the people, but also you get to see a different part of a place to the people, to the locals, whether the locals or expats. So yes, absolutely. This is one of my favorite ones. Absolutely. Thank you. Okay, Gifty is trying to get in. Anyone else raise their hand? Or should we move on? Okay, let's move on. All right, next. Now let's take a look at some of the benefits of podcasting for business. Some of these will be self-evident. Some others will be completely wow. So of course, we all know that podcasting is incredible when it comes to attracting and connecting, not just with anyone, especially once you see the way I do it, as you will see throughout this week, with your exact ideal audience, not just audience, but avatar, people that really resonate with you, relate to you, identify with you. As you get to share, to document your story, your journey, and share your story, you will give an opportunity for your avatar to get to know you, not just know you as a businessman or businesswoman, but as a man, as a woman, first and foremost. Because if me and you, we can't connect as a man to man, man to woman, we're not going to talk, let alone do business with. Because again, everything happens at the human level. So this is very powerful. And in the process, it's going to help you to build an incredible and deep, intimate connection with the audience. Because again, you guys can relate that. If you've been listening to podcasts, especially the one that you really like, after a few weeks, you feel that you know the person, you view them as a friend, even though you may have never met them. This is how you feel. Again, because you speak, especially if you speak from the heart, this is where the magic happens. This is something that's going to expand even deeper, because the whole principle is built upon one thing: speak from the heart. One of the things I teach everybody I talk to, especially in my academy, is never speak from a script. Don't even speak from here. Speak from here. When you speak from me, that's where the magic happens. That's when hearts open, doors open, wallets open, and everything else in between opens. So this is the magic. Here's a very good one, some of my favorites. Your very best clients will be your podcast listeners, and I'm going to expand on that why on the next slide. And of course, podcasting, having your own podcast, and not just your podcast or any podcast, but your very own profitable. This is a key word here. Profitable podcast is a phenomenal lead, not only lead generation, but also lead education machine, because your job as an entrepreneur is not just to sell, but in order to be able to sell, you need to educate your audience. And having your podcast is one of, by far, from my experience, the best way to do so. And of course, a common one here is, especially if you do long form content, interviewing guests, experts, your prospects, is you can leverage that for endless other content, shorts, reels, blog posts, and so on and so forth. Here's one of my favorite ones. When you have your own profitable podcast and you keep consistently at it, it's going to really set you apart. It's going to elevate you and position you, not only as being seen as the expert, the authority, the leader, but especially, and even more importantly, their leader, their expert, their authority. And I'm talking about your audience. And of course, we know that podcasting is incredible for networking. Podcasting has become the new golf. Before the pandemic, scandemic, whatever you want to call it, it was common to say, let's go play a round of golf or tennis, or let's meet up at the country club. But now it's all, hey, come on my podcast, let's chill, let's chat. As I say back in the US and Canada, sorry for my German, hey, let's shoot the shit. You know what I mean? Let's talk. So podcasting is incredible. Can't tell you how many major business collaboration I've started as a result of podcasting. Nowadays, myself, I only do business with people that I met on my podcast. My publisher, she was a guest on my podcast. Then I did books with her, and then she became one of the first alumni of my academy, and so on and so forth. My coach, I'm going to bring him on Thursday. Incredibly successful man. He was a guest on my podcast first. Then I became his client. Now we're collaborating together. So again, Deborah, she was first a guest on my podcast. Then she took the 5-day challenge in April, and she joined the academy in April as well. So again, and now we're collaborating. So again, podcasting is incredible it's an incredible launching pad for much bigger things. Whether it's collaboration, getting on bigger podcasts, public speaking, publishing. If you're into corporate training, that's the best way to get yourself in the door, because hey, having your podcast, especially one that is interesting, that people love listening to, that's going to be one of the fastest hacks for you to get into corporate training, because that's going to be your portfolio. And they want people that know how to do public speaking. And what's the best way to do so? Hey, podcasting. Because podcasting is, you have to be able to know to speak from the heart in an effective way, in a compelling way. So all of that podcasting is incredible for your business. But here's the best one, especially in terms of making money. It's going to reduce the sales cycle of whatever you're selling. And this is what I'm going to expand on the next slide, goes hand in hand with this one. Your best client will be your podcast listeners. Before I dive into it, I want to hear at least one or two people. Why do you think that having your own profitable podcast helps you with reducing the sales cycle of whatever you're selling? Let's hear about from one or two people. Noreen, you have your hands raised. Go ahead, my friend. Can hear you. Noreen, did you want to chip in?
I didn't raise my hand. I don't know. It must have connected.
Okay. Sorry. All right. No worries. Susie.
Sorry to be such a chatterbox about this. And you know, I'm having a senior moment. What was the question? Because I did have an answer.
No. The question is, why do you think that having your own profitable podcast helps with reducing the sales cycle of whatever you're selling?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because you're having quite quickly in the relationship a conversation. And, you know, and so it breaks down so many barriers. So it's bound to reduce the sales cycle in a lovely way.
That's it. That's exactly it. Let me dive in. So, as you mentioned, podcasting allows you to build a much deeper connection with your audience because, again, you will be able to build a deep connection with the audience, allowing them, by you speaking, sharing your story, documenting your journey, you will be basically giving them an opportunity to get to know you, not only as a business person, but also as a human being. And then once they get to know you, as I mentioned earlier, there's no need to doing business with them is going to become a very natural, automatic, organic progression, as opposed to selling, pitching, convincing, chasing, and all nonsense that nobody likes. So let's go to the next one. Do you guys know this guy? Raise your hand if you know him. Russell Brunson, anyways, is the co-founder of ClickFunnels, one of the companies that I use. Actually, all my websites are built on ClickFunnels. Basically, it's a multi-billion-dollar company. This guy is one of the smartest marketing geniuses in our age, in our era. Here's a fabulous quote, and I really want us to really talk about this because this is very telling. He said, music and radio listeners on average make about $60,000 a year, while podcast listeners make about $120,000 a year. Can you guys guess why that is? Raise your hand if you want to chip in. This is fascinating. Susie, go ahead, my friend.
Sorry, it's just that when you're listening to a podcast, you're actually being educated in a really good way. And even if it's storytelling, listening or reading stories, even fiction, makes us more empathetic and communicative because it sort of jumps over the way in which we block wanting to learn. It's a great way to learn and be educated. And I suppose people who are perceived to be well-read will also probably have be making a better income.
That's it.
Because they're using their time really wisely.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it any better. Fiona, you have your hand raised. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would say that it's also because people that listen to like the radio, the normal radio, the DJs are being paid or even if it's information, they're being paid just for the time that they're doing their show. Whereas if you're doing a podcast, you're hoping to like sell a program or whatever you're doing as a coach, you're going to sell that behind. So actually the money you're making is not from the podcast, it's from what you sell behind it.
Absolutely. Noreen, you have your hand raised. Go ahead, my friend.
Well, I feel with the podcasts, people are very genuine. And as you said, you're speaking from your heart. In the radio, it's the media, isn't it? It's like, it's just telling people what they want to hear, as opposed to in the podcast, you're speaking from your heart, really. I feel that's the way I think when I'm listening to podcasts.
Absolutely. Kwesi, go ahead, brother.
Can I just affirm that the question that you're asking is why the average person makes 60K and podcasts
Yes, that's a question. Why do you,
podcasters make 120K?
Yeah.
Okay. I think for me, I'm looking at it as systems thinking. So different points. So lead generation. Someone say I went and I got a degree and I'm working. There's only so many opportunities that I could get with that degree, and point of attraction, people that I attract. But podcast listener, there's no limit, there's no cap, and now I'm able to sell way more and in front of a larger audience. That's how I see it. That's my thought.
Absolutely spot on, brother.
Yeah.
What you guys said is absolutely spot on. But there's one thing that Russell meant, and that is the people that listen to podcasts, they do understand the power and value of self-investment. They're willing and able to invest in your program because they understand the value of self-development. Whereas the person that listens to radio, music, to the news on the way to work or whatever, they just go to the motion, go to work, back home, work home, work home. I'm not here to judge, but that's just a general behavior that these people tend to display. Whereas a person that's going to always feeding their mind with podcasts to expand their horizon, their mind, learning from experts, these people understand the value of investing in yourself. So this is why some of your best clients will come from your podcast. I'm going to expand on that in a moment. And because again, when you will be able, just like the title says, to attract a higher caliber of clients through your podcast, because the people that will listen to your podcast and reach out to you and become your clients, sure, they like you, sure, they relate with you, but also they understand the value of self-investment. Not only they understand, but they have the means to invest. This is what Russell means in that quote. This is one of the most compelling and telling quotes in our time. Again, I just mentioned it. Your podcast listeners will be your best clients. For me, 100% of my clients have been my podcast listeners. Let me repeat, 100% of my clients have been my podcast listeners. Because why? Because we have that connection. We have that trust. This is why when I say I don't look at the numbers, I don't play the vanity metrics, I don't care about the numbers. If you go to my YouTube channel, I just checked before logging in today, I had a grand total of 1,407 subscribers, which is absolutely tiny. But my videos, I'm lucky if they get 50 views. But you know what? I don't care. I don't look at the numbers. I look at the connections. Every single one of my 1,407 subscribers, I have a personal connection with them. And this is why I've been able to get 6 clients the first weekend, 60 clients in the next 10 months with a YouTube channel of less than 200 subscribers. Because again, it's about trust. It's about rapport. Once you have that trust, that rapport with your audience, then doing business with them will become very natural. Hey, what do you do, Quizzy? What do you do, Susie? What do you do, Fiona? What do you do, Noreen? What do you do, David or Michael? Oh, I do X for Y. Oh, what? That's exactly what I'm looking for. Can you help me? Sure, let's set up a time to talk. There's no need for you to send a proposal, to have it reviewed by your team or whatever. Sure, depending on the size of the transaction. But because there's a trust, it drastically reduces the sales cycle, and moving forward is much, much, much faster and easier. Do you guys understand that? Does that make sense to you guys? This is very powerful, especially for business, especially the way I'm going to share with you guys, because we want to build a profitable podcast so you can not only share your story, display your expertise, but also connect heart to heart with exactly the audience so you can start not only getting leads on demand, but also getting clients organically, even if you have no audience to start with and without spamming. This is what I mean, because again, it's about relationships, it's about trust. And once you do that, everything else opens up. This is what I mean. So, what time is it? Oh, wow, it's been pretty fast today. Okay. So that's a lesson for today. Any question before I give you the glimpse about tomorrow's menu? Any question? Go ahead, Susie, and then Noreen.
Yes, if it's okay, I have 2. Earlier
Please.
on, you spoke about speaking from the heart, and I know that I am authentically doing things from the heart, but I'm getting on a bit, and also I think possibly long COVID fog. I can't remember all the things I want to say, so I do at the moment use a bit of a script. I have sort of questions, and because my memory is really bad, and I don't want to miss out on anything that I'd love the audience to hear. So how do you, what's your view on that, please, Payman?
So one thing that I always say is never speak from a script. Don't even speak from me, speak from the heart. For my podcast, I have a structure. Sure, we're gonna talk about, for example, who's Susie, what's your background, what's your path, and so on and so forth. But ultimately, I like to keep it organic. I ask one question, hey, what's your story? Oh, you tell me something. Oh, I get into, say, I don't know, whatever business. I did whatever. Oh, how did you get into that? Just like you would in a face-to-face conversation with someone.
Conversation, yeah.
Exactly. Don't make it, it's not an interrogation, it's a conversation. Just like what I said yesterday, don't make your business transactional, make it transformational.
Yeah. Okay.
But if
Thank
you
you
need
very
to
much.
have, if you need to have some questions, like for example, when I get a podcast called someone, I have my notepad with a series of questions. Doesn't mean that I have to ask every single question, because if I were to do that, it would kill the fun of it. It will make it like an
Yes.
interrogation. But
At
depending
the
on where is the
spontaneity.
conversation going, you get the feel which
Yeah.
would be the most appropriate thing to ask based on where the conversation is going. So by all
Right.
means, have a list of key questions that you want to ask, but that doesn't mean you have to ask every single one of them, because you
Thank
don't
you.
want it to turn into an interrogation.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And the other one is, to what extent, this I think all of us hopefully will be interested, to what extent or detail do you speak about you when really the podcast is kind of all about your guest?
Again,
Because
it depends.
you need to, if you're going to mention your book or your, your story or your course or whatever, is that again, that comes up organically in conversation?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. As I always say, I'm just a host. The star is you, the guest.
Yes.
If in the conversation it becomes relevant for me to share part of it, it's not going to be like a monologue of me talking about me for the next 40 minutes, because nobody wants that. But if you feel it's relevant for you to share tidbits and overview highlights, by all means.
Yeah. Brilliant. Thank you. Thank
Very
you,
welcome.
Payman.
Very welcome. Noreen, you had your hand raised. Go ahead, my friend.
I'm on my phone today, Payman, and I think it's really pushing my boundaries here, right? My phone is putting my hand up, so I'm being shy. But actually, Susie brought up 2 points there that I would love. Yes, it's a structure. I never stick to structure, so I'm glad that, there isn't, it's a conversation. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And also the other one is about promoting yourself, as you say, getting, so the 2 questions. Yes, I was kind of, thank you.
Very welcome. Crazy.
I just want to comment, one, to paraphrase what I'm taking away from this, and for you to just affirm that I'm hearing you properly. So you said earlier on today, this morning, that you only do business with persons that you've met on your podcast. So this is what it communicates to me. The podcast gives you an opportunity to attract potential clients, but also to attract leads. Then you build trust through rapport with persons that are with aligned values, that understand the importance of personal development and growth. Then you establish businesses with those people, which makes all the sense in the world. So I'm just looking at again, system thinking. I'm looking at it as a funnel, which makes a lot of sense. I know that might not be the right word for it, but it makes a lot of sense to me. Point of attraction, lead generation, build trust and rapport through your content, through speaking, aligned values, is mutually beneficial outcomes, and then prosperity comes from it. I like
That's it. You perfectly summarized it, brother. Absolutely. Also, because just like I said, business is all about trust. It's a relationship nurturing process. What I've been trying to do is build an ecosystem where I have all the vetted expert that I need, not just for me, but for my community. So when you're looking, say, for a copywriter, web designer, AI expert, PPC, whatever you're looking for, you don't have to waste time and money looking for someone that's unproven. You have all these people within the community. This is what I want, my ultimate vision, to build a self-sustaining community of leaders with a heart with key experts in every key area of business. So for example, you Quasi, you can come in as, I don't know, whatever is your zone of genius. David, something else. Susie, Noreen. This is what I mean. So we can all tap into each other. It's going to become an incredible resource for all of us. Oh, you're looking for a Facebook ad or YouTube ad expert? Oh, talk to Mike. Oh, you're looking for someone to talk about, I don't know, fitness? Go to Mark. He was a brilliant student of the last class. He's expert in fitness. So something like this. So again, tap into the people here. Does it answer your question, brother?
It does. One more question. That community ecosystem, this excites me. This activates me, right? Everything that you're saying. The ecosystem, is it your Facebook group? Is that where all these amazing souls are?
Yes. Facebook groups have been, I don't use Facebook for you're gonna see me posting picture of 55 selfies a day what I eat on Facebook, but I use Facebook for business. Right. Facebook is amazing, especially I'm gonna cover that, and I will see if I can bring an expert. Guys, Facebook groups are a gold mine when done the right way. I can attribute the first year and a half, 2 years, 100% of my clients from Facebook groups, 100%. And also because if you've been on Facebook for any length of time, you're probably getting bombarded and spam with people that start pitching it from the first message. Hi, would you like some more leads, some of this, some of this? I had someone message me to say, oh, I'm going to help you grow your podcast. The first one I asked him, hey, do you have your podcast? What's your podcast? They don't even respond. Oh, let me help you become a 7-figure seller. What about you? What level are you? These are just copy pasters from other countries. So I used to, entertain them, be polite, say, listen, you want to do business with me? Get to know me. Now I don't even bother with them. That's what I mean. I only do business with people I met to my podcast. Let's see. David, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I thought yesterday was great and brilliant. Today's been exceptional. Thank you very much indeed. It's been absolutely wonderful. Learn a lot from today. But my issue is, and I might have to revise this in light of your conversation then, and Quasi, I'm not on Facebook for a number of reasons. I might have to revisit that, even if I only connect with this group on Facebook, because I didn't get any of the slides yesterday or the ability to listen to the recording that you actually said, listen, I know you're a very busy guy, but if you could send it through by another connection, that I would appreciate that, particularly. Yes. The slides today's been fantastic. I'm trying to think of a way, and I know you've very little time now, and I think Susie touched on this. I have a number of testimonials I could send you that I've had throughout my career that said David is a very compassionate, very human, has great understanding and energy with people, and I'm trying to find a way to communicate that in a podcast through my voice and let people speak. So I've been thinking about that, etc. So listen, thank you very much, but I may have to revisit my hatred of Facebook for obvious reasons and rejoin tonight.
Yeah, please don't mind. Listen, you don't have to use your full name. Use a pseudonym. David from Manchester, David B, whatever. Use a fictional name.
Yeah. Okay.
And yesterday I did put my WhatsApp on the chat. Did you get it?
No.
I'm gonna send it to you. Let me send it to you right now.
Thank you.
I'll send it after. Okay, don't worry. I'll definitely send it to you. Thank you so much for the beautiful words. Mean the world to me. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's see. Any more questions? Yes.
Just one thing. Your Facebook group doesn't have to be public, does it? So anybody can see it, David. You can have a private setting. So it's just like an inner circle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Susie, thank you. Thanks very much.
And also, David, on your settings, on your account, you can put your profile, just like Susie said, you can put your profile in a way that people cannot find you. Only people that know you or people that actually get your exact, let's say, use a fictional name. If they search for your full name, David Bottomley, they're not going to find it. But if you say David B from Manchester, whatever, maybe they can.
We sadly live in a world where in the United Kingdom, someone's about to get a sentence in prison for over 3 years for making comments that Twitter and X say are within their guidelines, and that's the world we're living in, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. But hey,
But you do have to have a profile to have a group. They're two different things.
Okay.
yes.
You have to have a profile. You have to have a profile. You don't have to use it.
I had a
But
profile.
a group's a different thing, because a group, then you
Yeah.
set the rules, and when people want to join, then you can set the rules as to whether they get in or not, and you see everyone that wants to join, and you can go and look at their profile and see if they are legitimate or not, because sometimes they're not. But you know, like my setup, I work with menopausal women. So you know, mine set up, are you a woman, whatever, you can get their address, their email address, so then you can get a listing to do some MailChimp or whatever. So a group and a profile is not the same thing, but you need a profile to have a group.
Absolutely. That's a great reminder. Yes, yes, yes. Any other questions?
I have a question.
ahead.
Did you mention something about WhatsApp when responding to David just now, or no?
Yes, yes. I said that yesterday. I put my WhatsApp number on the chat so we can connect, so I can send you the replays and all that. So I will send,
Okay.
if you guys want, I will share my WhatsApp on the chat. So please take it and yeah, and we can connect that way as well. And I
Okay,
know
cool.
that
So you have
that Gifty you messaged me yesterday on WhatsApp. So well, where's that coming from? Oh, then I remember it. So, yeah.
that sounds good. Thank
Yeah.
you, brother.
Very welcome. Any other questions? Gifty, how are you doing, my friend? Your microphone is working
I've
now?
had some hiccups with my system today, but it's okay. I did listen to the majority. And I was quite interested in the Facebook thing, because I've been antisocial to social media for a while. And so I'm now beginning. And some of the nuggets of wisdom will help me to be selective, because you do get everyone wanting to be part of it. But of course, we have to select people who can support your
Absolutely.
mission, not just getting a body in. And I think I'm very mindful of that. And friendship has to stay away. People who can support you with the mission you've got, with your message. And it's not only about money, it's to make an impact and add values to
Absolutely.
people's life, not just getting a number of people on your
Absolutely.
profile to fill it. So
Absolutely.
that is the way I'm choosing, you know. It's no, because you can't choose people who just be there and be nosy. You need to get people
Absolutely.
who can influence.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
Any other?
who can be consistent as well
Oh,
in
absolutely.
journey with you.
Totally. Totally. Yes. Amazing. Any other questions? Okay, so let me just, so here's a sneak peek about tomorrow. Day 3, we're going to actually be doing brainstorming. Tomorrow is going to be a key day. It's going to be, I'm going to be sharing a lot of content with you. So make sure you come, make sure you take notes, you watch the replays, because tomorrow is going to be a pivotal day, because we're going to be building the foundation of not just your podcast, but your business, meaning we're going to be brainstorming to identify, here's the key, the crux of everything I do. We need to identify what is your zone of genius. What is your true gift? And then we're going to take your zone of genius, your gift. Then we're going to build your offer, craft your business, or rather, craft your offer, build your business, and ultimately your podcast around your zone of genius. So you can speak from the heart, share your story, and in the process, display your expertise. This is the best way, the most sustainable way to build a very profitable, impactful, and purposeful business. Because all you're doing is just sharing your story. And we're going to show that to you tomorrow. We're going to go over that. Tomorrow is going to be a very important day. And of course, I'm going to share with you my proven blueprint to launch your podcast in 3 easy steps. If you just were to implement that, you will be able to not only launch your podcast, but also get leads and make money. I'm not holding back. I've had multiple people from the previous 5-day challenge have told me that I could charge $1,000 just for the training I'm giving away here for free. But because I want to help, life has been good to me. I've been on both ends of the spectrum, at the very bottom, and now I'm in a better position. I can actually breathe. So I want to inspire, empower, and uplift as many people as possible. My motto is to help good people with beautiful hearts and powerful messages to win. One of the quote that I really, last thing I want to share with you guys is I was listening to a YouTube short 2-3 weeks ago, and the guy came is that most people fail in business and sales because when they get on a call, especially business call, they set themselves up for failure. And the guy said, "What do you mean?" Well, they get on a call with a goal in mind to close. And you're going to mind to close, you're setting up yourself for failure because the other person will feel that you're going to get here with an agenda, that you're not very genuine. But instead, get on a call to make the other person win. Make that your goal. Because when you make the other person, the person you're trying to help to win, guess what? When they win, you will win. Not only financially, but also they're going to be singing your praises left and right. So make sure from now on, anytime you get on a call, not just on a call, make it about, okay, and this is why whenever I get on a call, especially business call with someone, the first question I ask him is, how can I help you shine brighter than currently shining? How can I help you win? And I mean it sincerely. It's not about me. When I help someone shine and win, guess what? I'm winning too. But if I were to approach the call with say, okay, how can I make sure that I can close the sale? I need the sale. Guess what? It's not going to happen because people can see through the BS. Does that make sense? All right. So here's the, okay. So that's it for today. Let me just stop sharing the screen. I can share with you guys my WhatsApp number here. It's a Canada number, 289-987-9166. Please don't share that publicly. I don't want to be. Yeah, I love that in Swedish. The sell translate to serve. Absolutely, I love that.
Yeah.
So, David, please make sure to take my number. I just posted on the chat on WhatsApp. Just add me. It's a Canada number, so +1. And anyone else? And send me a message, and I will send you the videos, the replay from yesterday, from today, as well as the slides right away. Give me about an hour or two, and after that, I will do it.
Payman,
Yes.
just want to say to people, on Thursday, Payman is guesting on my podcast. We're recording it, of course, so it'll be out in a month or so, but I cannot wait having it with you. So, and get going with each other on each other's podcast as well.
Absolutely.
Just like encourages us. So I'll be in touch, and yeah, it would be amazing. You're all amazing. Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you for a reminder. Thank you for the opportunity to come onto your show. I can't wait to have a heart-to-heart conversation with you because we had some powerful conversation before that off the record. Get to know your story. Guys, she is an incredible, not only, we all have incredible stories, but she truly has one of those that are truly goosebump inducing stories. That's all I'm going to say. Find out for yourselves. And
Right.
I can share, I know it's going to be the same for all of you guys. Get in touch with each other. Hey, just to get to know each other, maybe you can co-create some magic. Who knows? This is one of the greatest benefits of coming together as a container.
Yeah.
Any other questions before we call it a day? Any questions, comments, compliments? I always love compliments.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a compliment. So this is the second conversation that we've had in less than 24 hours. And your authenticity, your oversharing, which is investing more value, and your humility and your knowledge is also up there. I really appreciate that. And this beautiful group of people, I can already feel the energy, and I'm excited to continue learning, growing, and connecting with each and every one of you. Thank you, brother, for putting yourself out there and giving us permission to be our true, authentic self. I appreciate you for that.
Thank you for waking up early while being on vacation. So thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Go out and enjoy the pool, enjoy the beach while you still can, because when in Canada,
I know.
Yeah,
All right.
depending where in Toronto you are. But anyways, thank you. I appreciate that. From my heart to yours, brother. Any
Thanks,
other
everyone.
questions? Any other questions? All right, no question. Let's all take a selfie with the hands like this, all of us. I'm gonna do it. Okay, let me just close this. I don't want this to come into the self.
Thanks, Deborah, too.
Wait, let's do it again. Let's do it again. All everybody, come on camera for 2 seconds. Do like this. Everybody, Lubna. Okay, let's me do a quick screenshot. I wish I was fast. I can take. Let's see how it comes. Thank you guys. Love you all. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be an incredible, even more powerful, because tomorrow we're gonna really brainstorm together and we're gonna dive into what is the heart, the crux of everything what I do, which is identifying your zone of genius and your true gifts. And from there, we're gonna craft your message, build your business, and ultimately build your profitable podcast. So see you guys tomorrow. Please share your questions, your comments, your answers, or whatever inside the Facebook group. Get in touch with each other. I'm gonna message you directly, David, on WhatsApp. So yeah, I'm excited. See you guys tomorrow. Thank you to Kwesi for being here this morning early on, and thank you for you also, Lubna. You just came off a plane after a long transatlantic flight just a couple of hours ago. So thank you for being here. Go get some rest. Enjoy the London sun. I'm sure you will get some sun.
so much.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome. And
Thank
see you
you.
all. Take care, guys. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, guys.
Bye-bye.